Do I got any volume in here? All right. Good morning, everybody. I don't know if anybody's here, but this is a new thing I've decided to start every Monday morning. Come 5:30 or 5 o'clock, I'm going to start a little stream. And nature of this stream is for you guys out there. A lot of you are in the construction field. You're getting up early. Let me find my spit bottle. Y'all hang on a minute. Let's see. I'd rather it look like that a little bit. And then that. And then. All right. It says excellent condition. Ooh, man. All right, boys. Yeah, still see I'm glitching. All right. We just gonna have to deal with it, I reckon. All right. Are we moving? Error. Not receiving. Open. As such. All right. I'm going into settings. Anyway, guys, I just out here doing what I know to do. All right. All right. I'm still trying to figure stuff out. But anyway, good morning, everybody. My mess this morning. I committed to get up on Monday mornings. And I guess we could call it theory of the mastermind. We can call it whatever you want. I thought about calling it safety net, since that's mostly what I'm involved in is safety. But you just want to get out there and make it happen sometimes. All right. It's a rainy day here in North Georgia. Big storm blowing through. Just thank goodness we're not up there in the Northeast. Hey guys, if you got anything you want to talk about this morning, let's go ahead and post it in the comments. Let me run a test chat. See if I'm out there with you guys. Test. All right. It shows that I am in the live chat. And I'm working on audio and all kinds of things. So we're open for any kind of discussion you may have. Now, if you see me glitching out, guys and gals, I'm on Starlink, and it's raining. So you may see me glitch from time to time, and y'all gonna have to either find my content interesting enough to hang around through the glitch, or if you need to scroll on. Some of you might be in your truck listening to the way into work. Some of you may be planning your work day now that you're got mud up to your knees if you work outside. Some of you interior demolition guys are going to keep right on going. Shows my signal stream state is poor. Well, how do you address them? It's not receiving enough video. All right. Well, here we go, 10 minutes into it, and let's see what we got. Let's go to the OSHA website just for shits and giggles and see what's going on in the world of OSHA. OSHA.com. That's it. Guys, when you go on the YouTube, you got to be careful, man. Even OSHA, there are people out there who pay to be at the top of the search results, even for a governmental agency like OSHA. You click on that, and all of a sudden, all they want to do is sell you stuff, and you looking for stuff, and it is. So be wary when you go out there. All right, it says employers can electronically submit injury and illness data to the injury tracking application. That's on the news OSHA headline this morning. So you could do all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, from what I understand, the optimism in the country is growing. Opportunities, people are wanting to spend some money, so here's our chance to guys to get out there and find our opportunities. And if you're just looking for a job, shame on you. You ought to have a purpose. You ought to have something you're going after. I don't care if it's you want to learn how to play guitar, whether you want to learn how to, just because a job is nothing more than a job. Okay, it shows I'm uploading pretty good now, but my stream still ain't working. I don't know what to do. All right, shows me back up. Maybe this thing will stay kicking. Anyway, I think we should all have something that activates our intellect and convinces us to. I need to check my audio. All right. Yeah, I think we should all have a purpose, a goal, and whatever else. I gotta tighten that up. You guys get to watch me piddle around with my systems as well. Because, I can get up or I can stay up late and try to work on things. Sometimes you just have more and more. It's like anything else you do. I'm going to claim that this live streaming, getting out there and chatting with you guys and developing relationships, it's going to take some work. This channel is open to anything related to your work life, to your life as a fact. You don't have to be about work. You can have another issue and you can post it in the comments and we'll talk about it. And if other people are interested, they'll jump in with another uh, aspect of that issue, and help you come up, or me come up, with a plan to help us come up with a plan to attack our biggest challenges, whether it's a daily challenge or a particular challenge at work, uh, means and methods. If you got a safety issue, look, we could talk about that. But this is for those guys who get up every morning at 4:30, 4 o'clock, and go out there and turn the wheels of commerce. I'm probably speaking to you guys out there who work on the roads, construction work, and you're probably driving right now and trying to get your coffee, pick up your crews, and get to site, get to the work site. And that's enough to aggravate a man. Or a ladies, I don't mean to leave you out. It's just that, I grew up in a time where a majority of the people on a job site were men. And now I know there's some strong ladies out there who are getting out there and learning the construction trades, learning the demolition. I've known ladies who, with very little background, came on board, and with the right opportunity, they were given an opportunity to say, lead crews, understand plans, equipment operators. Several ladies I know who've become equipment operators on demolition sites, dirt sites, and all that stuff. So, ladies, if you've got a challenge dealing with a bunch of knuckleheads on a job site, we could talk about that, and we could start policing ourselves. The biggest thing, the biggest thing is having that self confidence and that umph to get out there and make things happen for yourself. You develop your skill sets. As you develop your skill sets, you'll become more desirable in the field. But there's a couple criteria that make you desirable other than your skill sets. I've known people who were experts at running equipment, whether it be a crusher, a truck, an excavator, a backhoe, um, a track hoe, all kinds of equipment. They found that opportunity, and not only did they learn how to operate a particular piece of equipment, but you gather enough experience. You become qualified in operating more than just, say, a specific piece of equipment, and you broaden your skill sets. And as you broaden your skill sets, you increase your value in the marketplace. And we all have to have those skill sets that are desirable. Uh, I'm lagging a little bit. Um, so if you're out there, look, it's the first one. I plan on doing this every Monday morning from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Because at 6 a.m., I like to tune in to Mike Slater on the Sirius XM. Uh, I like this guy. You could tell that he's spiritual in his approach to life, and he applies the spirituality and how he deals with all the things and challenges, and he helps motivate us as individuals. And even a guy like me who wants to get out there and help people and improve their lives, he needs motivating too. So anyway, and I've got a cold, man. This thing's breaking up. Reminds me of a joke. Young man out with a girl, he met her, and they getting hot and heavy in the back seat. or in the front seat. I don't know. It's getting hot and heavy. And he said, "Excuse me, I think I got your gum." And she goes, "Oh no, my cold is breaking up." anyway, anyway, uh, I'll sit here and entertain myself until somebody pops in with something. If you're a superintendent, though, I'd like to talk about a couple things. One of the most important things that you can do to ensure the productivity and the safety of your men is to have regular, everyday PTP meetings. Now, everybody's heard of the PT, gotta do the PTP, gotta have the PTP, gotta do this, you gotta do that. Well, the PTP is a critical part of helping your people s- stay active, engaged, uh, and to perform. Now, the PTP is an acronym for the pre-task plan. When you hit a job site, you've got some specific, yeah, you should have some specific plans, specific goals for the day. You should be aware of all the challenges that could cause an injury. And as a supervisor, you can take 5 minutes a day and plan out and take input from your crew members to plan out that PTP. I've got PTPs. If you need them, all you got to do is 6,800. I'm getting all kinds of, is higher than the recommended. So now it wants me to use a bit rate of 68. Y'all excuse me, I gotta go back in and fix this stuff. Output. And come into here. And we'll type in 9,000 and apply. Okay. Like I said, I'm learning. I'm getting messages from the YouTube site telling me to adjust the bit rate of this broadcast software that I'm using. And this, there'll be more and more things. I'll get used to this software more and more, and I'll be able to show uh, screenshots and things like that, and have topics of discussion and list them for you so you'll have references. Anyway, that PTP, when you're out there and you cover the objectives of the day, you have crew assignments made. You cover with that crew exactly what your expectations are for them for the day, what progress you expect, and then before they begin work, and you're covering all the hazards as well: fall protection, pinch points, working from man lifts, using a pneumatic hammer, what type of hearing protection, face protection they're going to need. And these things take very little time. I filled out thousands of them. And sometimes I'm put them in the advance if we're doing a project that's repetitive. And then I can write in additional things at the bottom. But you cover this thing and have everybody sign off on it. And what happens is it forms an accountability protocol. If you know about these hazards, you know what work needs to be done, and you signed off on it, and you as a supervisor at that point carry out your day and ensure that they're rising to the commitment that they signed off to, and that they're behaving safely. Now, doing the PTP, when you first start doing it, it can be a pain in the butt, but given enough time and effort, you will see results where you're running a job site that is safe, you perform your work in a timely and effective manner. And contractors, people you work for, when they see you operating in a way that gives them assurance that you're progressing in a timely fashion. Now, they may have a different schedule and they'll be up your butt, but that ain't your problem a lot of the times. They've been promoting hurry up and get it done, and they don't care if somebody gets hurt until somebody gets hurt, and then they're going to bitch at you then. So my approach is go ahead and let them see you do these PTPs. Progress may be slow in the beginning. That's because you're developing a cohesive team that marches through the day, getting the work done in a safe, timely, and efficient manner. And after a time, now, why did my camera just die? Oh, what the heck? Uh-oh. That darn stream witness. All right. Well, anyway, here we go. Doing it again. Trying to work with cameras and lighting and video and getting this information out to you guys. So it's the first time I've made a commitment. Do this every Monday. So that's the PTP, and the next thing that is critical for accountability is daily equipment inspections. And I'm not talking about, yeah, boss, I inspected it. No, I need to see a piece of paperwork. I need to see that that equipment is operating properly, it's not damaged, and it's ready to go, and you've done your inspections, and it's documented. That documented inspection also raises accountability. If you, as a supervisor or manager, walk into the field and there's a damaged piece of equipment, whether it's a rental or company owned, if it's damaged, it's going to cost somebody. Somebody wasn't paying attention. Somebody did something incorrect, resulted, and could result in an injury. But if it does result in damages, then somebody's got to pay for it. The company or the company's going to pay for it. But if you assign accountability by doing those equipment inspections, if a previous shift damaged a piece of equipment and your crew comes in and does their inspection, at least you know that the guy doing the inspection more than likely didn't damage his equipment. Somebody skipped out on the previous shift without reporting a damage to equipment. And the reporting of damage is not to beat somebody up and cause heartburn in somebody because an accident was made. The purpose is that somebody could have been injured. You could develop process and procedures when you talk about, and when you have your PTP meeting, that could be a safety item. Hey, guys, make sure that if you do your equipment inspections and you do it properly, then you're more than likely to look out after that piece of equipment. You put your name on it. Even if you see some other knucklehead damage the equipment that you've already inspected, it's your duty and responsibility to make mention of that to your immediate supervisor. When you make mention, then they know that you're taking responsibility for the equipment on your job site. And that and you as an employee performing those operating procedures, you grow in value to the company because they know that you can be counted on to manage your equipment. And we talk about this stuff all the time. I can say the same thing on a job site, being a safety guy or a manager or a project leader or whatever, and I see the eyeballs roll. And I get where I don't talk about it much, but the important thing is that I do it. And the more you do it, the more the habit becomes. I've been on job sites and companies in the past that didn't have these PTP procedures. They didn't have equipment inspection procedures. They didn't have job site reporting criteria. And they got by. They made good money. But at the back end, there was all kinds of costs they had to deal with. Damages on the job site, delays due to improper planning, not having the proper equipment, and all that stuff starts coming out the back end of a project. Project's complete, and you're doing the bean counting on it, and you're getting invoices from rental companies where they've got equipment damaged. Your operations manager is out there repairing a track hoe because somebody used it improperly and it sat on the job site idle for a few days before somebody reported it broken. And then they make it an emergency. I need this piece of equipment. We parked it last week and it won't start this morning. And the maintenance department gets to the job site, and the daggum thing's been run low on oil, and the engine, to protect itself, shuts down. What's up with that? Somebody failed to do an inspection? Or you've got one that is weeping hydraulic fluid every which way, and hell, it wasn't reported. It's just been dripping oil, and then it's too low on oil, and if the finance situation, guys don't have the resources to take care of it, y'all keep running and we'll get you some oil out there. And 3 days later, somebody will show up with a bucket of oil, and hell, it's 30 gallons shy. They show up with 5-gallon bucket. There you go. Just run and go on. Yeah. That's a waste of time, effort, and money. All right. Well, I don't see anybody out there, but I'm here. Wait a minute. I can entertain myself. Hey, I'm cool. Look at him. just say anything to get the juices flowing. I know a lot of you guys are out there in the old nasty rain today, trying to get somewhere, probably a large metropolitan area, and traffic is terrible. People are in a hurry. They should have been there by now. They know that they're running 10 minutes late, and creates all kinds of pressure. See. Well, yeah, it creates all kinds of pressure. You know, some of you got to pick up crews. Hell, you've been rolling since 3:30, going to pick up dudes, and then you pull up in their driveway, and their wife yells out, "He'll be there in a minute." And you got a crew of 4 guys sitting there, half of them asleep, half of them hungry, bitching about they want to get to the quick trip. They get a cup of coffee and a donut. And then old buddy comes walking out like he's the king of the world when he's the one who needs a ride to work. And then he's holding up 5 other men because he's the king of the earth. Well, he'd be getting a mouthful from me. If I'm making an effort to pick you up, well, you need to be sitting on the front porch when I pull up and you get in the truck and let's go. Heaven forbid. I'd be looking for people who could drive. But such is the world. And then you get to the quick trip, and hell, every one of them's piled out of the truck, standing around staring at stuff in the store, can't make up their mind what they want. And then they get some kind of sweetened carbohydrate, a donut or I don't know what they call that, all that sweet stuff they sell in them stores to hook kids on. And that's their breakfast. And so they get to the field, they're pumped with carbs and sucking down caffeine with tons of sugar in it. And man, come mid-morning, no wonder they need that break at 9:15 for 15 minutes. Hell, half of them are reloading with carbs and hitting the caffeine drinks, just trying to make it through lunch. And then they get to lunch and load up with, by then they normally get some protein, you know, a taco or something, or hot dog, or maybe some of them, when I see old boy roll up and his wife has spent time making him lunch and I know he's got kids, he better be responsible, and I'm going to make every effort to give him an opportunity, and he'll have the opportunity, but it's up to him what he does with the opportunity. And if he's got the hustle and he follows processes and procedures and helps the company be more effective, he's the kind of guy I need to be as a supervisor. I need him in a leadership position. And those are the guys you need to have people that you can train to do the work and follow your company's procedures. And when you, as a supervisor, have trained 4, 5, 6 guys that do work your way, you get to magnify your effort and income, because they can be left on a job site in charge, and you knowing that you've trained them to follow procedures, and you follow up with them throughout the day to make sure they're on track, making sure they're accountable. And that boosts a whole lot of things in a whole lot of different ways. I had a man tell me one time, he says, people don't quit their jobs, they quit their bosses. So when you approach some of these guys, even the dude that you had to wait and that came out and dropped, I mean, you got to give him a chance. He might be in a bad place. He's got dreams, and you'll get to know what his attitude is and what his approach to life is as you work with him. If he's striving to make sure that his family is fed and he's making efforts. He's getting the kids ready for school, helping mama around the house, and he comes out with his lunch bucket that's prepared and carries him through the day. He may be in a rough spot, so you can't ever make too many judgments, but as you deal with him, you know where he's at, and you could try to convince him to perform in a different manner. But the best thing to do is to have a balance of crew that follow the processes and procedures that you and your company have established for them to follow, and and give them the chance. Another thing that I used to require is that supervisors had a copy of the company EH&S, SDS, and first aid kit. They always had to have those. If I've got a situation on the job and they're not sure about a safety item and I can't put my eyes on it, or there's another process and procedure, I always refer them to the EH&S, and I normally know the section. I normally understand the section. What we're talking about, it, I'll reference the section. I'll say section 32, fall protection, whatever it is, and then start going through some of the things in there, see if it matches the criteria or the challenge that they're faced with. And we start noodling through it. And always you got to be confident. You got to feel good about what you set up, and get there as soon as you can as manager and review their PTPs, and then see if it matches up with the hazards that you observe on the job site. All that stuff just adds up to holding everybody accountable. Say, it's paperwork, it's paperwork. Yeah, it is. But it's once you plugged it into your routine, it really becomes an effective tool. All right, we've been at this for 42 minutes. Me sitting here running my mouth, and I don't see nobody out there. Maybe somebody. I didn't advertise. I thought I'd get on here and piddle around and try and get settings set up so that as time goes on, the flow of the work will improve, and then I'll start saying, "Hey, join me." Uh, and as time goes along, maybe we can have somebody set up some type of Zoom call. Somebody wants to call in, we can have a discussion. We can set up, we'll have guests, people talking, call in on the phone. We can have a hee haw. This thing ain't all serious, guys. This is just to motivate us, get us in a good mind frame, so that when we get to the job site, we get out and get things going, and come up with ideas on what to talk about during a safety meeting or a PTP meeting. God dang it, man. Why does that? My darn camera keeps going to sleep. On. I swear. Alright. I don't need that. I don't know why this camera is going to sleep in the middle of a stream. Let's see. I'm doing nothing new. Let's go to video capture property. Tiny Tim. Tiny 2. Okay. It must be a setting in this camera. Go to sleep mode. Something. Auto sleep. Oh, after 2 minutes, auto sleep. Let's see if I can change that. Well, I'll turn that off. Alright. I bet I don't go to sleep no more. Alright, so 44 minutes. Got 16 minutes. And I'll sit here and try to occupy this airspace. Wow. Improving the stream. And boy, you know, guys, I'm on the Starlink, and it gets a little glitchy. I'm working with satellites, and if there's heavy cloud cover or the system has to reset in space, the up-down links and all that, and they communicate, and sometimes you'll get some lag. But where I live at, it's the best thing going. It's better than buttered homemade bread on a cold morning compared to some of the things I've had to deal with. If y'all hear a company called Kinetic or Windstream, if y'all can, don't use them. Man, some of these internet companies received billions of dollars to improve rural internet connectivity. And I swear they took the money and ran. Took the money, paid their execs, paid big money to people who do very little, where they could have put men in the field working. They could have improved the internet availability to rural America. And instead, they do just like any other daggum government supported thing. They take advantage of it. It's wasteful. They provide nothing but bureaucracy. They provide very little in the way of resources for the people who have paid for it. And that's a sad state of affairs. And this Kinetic or Windstream or whatever it was, they always blame it on the customer. Hey man, this thing ain't working. Well, you gotta reset your system. And I say, what's my uploads? What's my download? 3 megabytes. What? That's all you got? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on Starlink. Let me look at this thing. My upload speed, that means me sending this video out to the satellite, it's at 12 megabytes or megabits, whatever you want to say. That's on the upload. Hell, with that other outfit, you were lucky to get 0.3. It would take me 8 to 10 hours to upload a 5-minute video. It was incredible, impossible. I'd have to go to town, to the library, McDonald's, and still paying that other outfit over $100 a month. And here's another one, DirecTV. You pay them to capture that satellite signal. They bring in and put in that equipment and charge you up whatever, the 130, 160, 200 a month to provide that service to you. And the very first thing that that box does, it makes an effort to make the leap to your internet. So you're not even paying for the satellite service. And it's automatic, and it can slow down anything else you got going on in your house. If I'm down here working on the computer and the kids or the wife is watching direct TV, hell, direct TV is robbing resources from another thing that you've paid for as a resource, so they don't have to use their resource. Anyway, that's not what this is. This is not supposed to be about this, all these crap, but it is accountability and all that. I guess it does come into play. All right. um, Interesting thing, and I'm going to do a toolbox safety talk for the other channel. And this week I want to talk about hand protection. Out there, guys, we're using our hands every day to pick up a hammer, to turn a wrench, to check the oil, to operate the controls, whatever. Using a nail hammer, air hammer, nailing a root. I don't. It don't matter what you do. You're using your hands, and hand protection. Man, I have seen guys that have not. We talk every day about pinch points, and they doing something and working and not paying attention. They're paying attention to removing that screw, but they're not paying attention to where their offhand is in that process. And when that thing they're unscrewing all of a sudden comes loose because they made a judgment error in how it was held on, freeze up, well, it comes down and whacks the hand. So now I got a dude walking around on the job site with a bandaged hand. He only used one hand, but he needs to work. And I got to take him to the doctor. I got to pay for his therapy. All because it was a momentary lapse of reason. He was trained. I've got signatures for 15, 20, 30 days where we talked about, because pinch points was a hazard on that job, where we talked about it. And he just slipped up. Looks like my stream has gone blank. Well, just keep doing it. And if it's jittery, man, I'm going to keep at it. I'll just get better. Maybe I'll make some friends. Maybe some old friends will join here eventually. Like I said, I haven't made any calls or sent any emails to let people know that, hey, I'm going to be doing this. I just wanted to get in here and get started, even if I have to go for 3 weeks and don't have anybody on here. I'll gain inability, like these flashes in my glasses. Maybe try and get those out so people can see that I'm trying to contact with them. I'm not sure how to adjust some of this. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna get you guys motivated. It's Monday morning, raining like cats and dogs. Traffic is terrible. You're trying to pick up your guys, and that's another. I've known guys that picked up their crews, supervisors, and they developed a relationship with these guys, picking them up. They're almost like family. And then you'll see one guy who's calling everybody trying to get a ride to work because nobody wants him in the truck with them. He's a negative Nelly or Freddy or whatever you want. Just just mad at the world and everything's all goofed up and he can't get nowhere because everybody, yeah. Who wants to hear that? All right. So, hand protection. That's a good subject for you guys this morning. If you don't have a safety meeting lined up, uh, have it on hand protection. Uh, Go to my other channel, Middleclassbubba. I've got several hundred toolbox safety topics that I've done over the years. And a lot of guys would put that up on the laptop, and the guys standing around the truck and let me give it via a YouTube video. They don't have to say anything, but they normally do. Watch this video. We want to talk about hand safety and anything to get the conversation started. Now, make sure you document that safety meeting. Make sure that you say, we watched the video on hand protection on this job site at this day and time, and these people attended and watched it. Okay, that's documenting it. Just make sure you reference where that video is, so that if anybody ever has to look at that, it's part of your documentation process. And a lot of times, all you need is someone to start the conversation, and you'll be amazed at the number of guys that have some input where they've witnessed an injury in the past, or they've known a relative who's hurt a hand, and they'll, oh yeah, man, you gotta be careful around them table saws. They'll get your finger. Yeah, that kind of thing. That's cool too. We've done plenty of that. All right, running them down here just another minute or two. Well, 4 minutes. Oh, all right. What I have? I don't know. YouTube is not. I'm getting all of these messages. Actually, I have 5.5 minutes left with you guys. Anyway, we're all out there driving, and we talked about the hazards and the complications and the pain of picking people up and getting them to work. And we've gotten to the point where we've had our safety meeting, we've had our PTP meeting, and it's time to go to work. Time to go to work. Now, you as a supervisor, you need to stay active. Of course, we know that you have to keep track of certain things. You need to keep track of man hours, equipment inspections, PTPs, safety talks, equipment inspection. I think I said that. But you got to keep track of all that stuff and get it put into your reporting, so that your upline managers can see what the expectations are for that particular day, because he might be running 5 or 6 jobs. And if you're doing a good job following process procedures, and you've trained your most trusted men to follow those process and procedures, you could be running 3 or 4 jobs, and before you know it, you're doing reporting criteria on all these jobs. The best thing to do is train your guys and then follow up on it and make sure they're doing the work. And if they're not, you can have discussions of why perhaps they aren't doing their work. And it may be a problem you can solve, or it might be plumb laziness, and you just got to put that guy and holding a hammer all day, or pushing a wheelbarrow. He made his own decision. You can either do this and use your brain and a pencil, or you can not do this and you use your back. Call is all on the individual. You too, me too. We make the decisions. Um, anyway, like I say, I'm going to do this every Monday morning, 5 a.m. to 6, because at 6 a.m. I like to listen to Mike Slater on the Patriot, and then I normally go for a walk, take off the trash, and then come back to the office, check the mail, all kinds of things, and then I'm back here in the office probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and then start my daily routine, and I'll work till 2 or 3 and take some breaks, and then after that. I kind of start winding down. Unless it's summertime, then I'm working in the landscape. May do some fishing this winter. I like to go fishing, trout fishing. I'm a trout fisherman. I used to do, people say, don't you do deer hunting or squirrel hunting or bird hunting or bass fishing, crappie fishing? Yeah, I used to do all that when I was a younger man, but as you move through life, you start focusing on certain things, and trout fishing is the thing that got my attention. And if I'm not doing it, I'm certainly thinking about it. And I've done everything from build my own rods, and that's fly rod or spin cast or whatever kind of, come up with an own design and tie my own flies. I'm not an expert at any of it, but it's something I enjoy. And then I take the tools of the trade, so to say, the fishing gear, those things that I've created, and I go to the streams and enjoy the scenery. And from time to time, I'll catch a fish. Now, very seldom do I keep them. Very seldom do I touch them. I keep a pair of hemostats clipped in my pocket, and I'll reach down in there and I bend all the barbs back so it's no a barbless hook, and I'll flip them out and let them. I might get the camera or the phone out and take a picture and then flip them out, unless somebody says, "Man, I'd like to have trout supper," and I might bring some to them to be a good friend or take them with me. All right, we're winding her down, boys and girls. Got less than a minute. Nobody, it doesn't look like anybody showed up. Like I said, I'm just learning all this stuff, and I'm